So Shinra, so this is like continuation again because my software is fucking with me. So guys, I'm doing this on my computer, so don't even trip. I'm doing this on my computer, so this is bad enough. But I'm sorry. I'm doing this on my computer. I'm sorry, but like, hey, what can I do? So Shinra, so I'm talking about the ability. So Shinra's ability is, like I said, fire movement. If he places his heat signature anywhere, he can teleport to that place. So he decided to travel all over the world and place his heat signature basically everywhere. This nigga's rich, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Really, to be honest with you, Shinra goes and his second ability is called, what is it called? Dimension Slash, where he coats his hands in his black and blue flames and slices the air basically. He turns his flame so hot that it completely turns invisible. And then it can literally go through people and it will only hit an intended target. So if Shinra was intending to hit, let's say, Inferno, a demon Inferno, and like Captain Obi was in front of him, it would go through Captain Obi and hit the demon Inferno. So they're there. His third ability is called Crescent Moon. It's basically like I can't remember his name actually. The other second and third generation him. Yeah. The other second and third generation him. Yeah, Captain whatever. Crescent Moon is basically like his attack but black and blue. Honestly, he kind of copied him, but like I digress. So Shinra goes and he kind of show hands like he already knows how to like box and fight and has a lot of martial arts under his belt. Now he's learning now he wants to like make his Fire Force suit. Like he doesn't want to wear the Fire Force jacket but something happens before he could do that. You see, now the palace or the like where the Amaterasu is. You remember that place when Shinra had to go to that place? You see, they kind of don't like Shinra because he's made his own Amaterasu, and they don't. The whole city doesn't depend on them anymore. They can just depend on Tsukayomi Industries because he's smart as fuck. But like, yeah, they don't really need to depend on them. So some people kind of think Shinra is the reincarnation of not evangelist, the sun god, which he isn't. So that's what some people is thinking, and they hear that the thing that powers Amaterasu is his flame. So people are like, damn, his flame is an eternal flame. It's better than Amaterasu. Okay, but I digress. Okay, I digress. So Shinra decides and he goes back home. He's chilling. So this is where two men in a white outfit came into like his room and had a knife to his body. And then they went down and stabbed it into Shinra's heart. But then Shinra just turns into fire and disappears. Then Shinra said, "Fire double." Then he asks them, "Why are you here again?" And this is the captain of, I think I remember the name of him, but like, I think Joker was a part of them. Joker was a part of their squad, like the secret squad that the palace had. So he said, "I asked again, who are you?" And this time, he sent out a heat wave into their bodies to force them to kneel. Cause he's created that. So he puts his heat waves into he puts his fire into someone and cause it to heat up to a point where their body cannot take it and forces them to bow or kneel. says, I'm gonna ask you this one more time. What are you doing here? They still didn't speak. He just knocked them out at that point. And he knew exactly where they were from because he's been investigating the palace for the most time. Shinra then fire like fire moves to the palace. He appears in the dead mill against, I think I can't remember his name. His last name was Third something, Hajima the Third or something. He appeared right in front of him and he dropped the two bodies. And I asked him what is the meaning of this. He looked the old man, whoever who his name was, looked at him in shock. He found them, knew where they was from, and took them out at the same time. So he's kind of scared because that was one of his best men, and they could take out all the rest of them. So he was kind of scared. And he said, I will ask you again, why were they in my room? You want to answer? I bet. He then did the heat wave thing again and forced him to kneel and said, if you do not tell me, you see that Amaterasu over there, I'm gonna burn it to cinders. In a count of 3. 1, 2. And then he just decides to give it up and just tell Shinra what was going on. Shinra was then he told him that they went there to assassinate him and all that because he was getting too much powerful and people were thinking him as a god or a reincarnation of the god, and he just straight up didn't like that. Shinra said, so your first thing to do was to kill me? No, what? Fuck you. And he just left. He just didn't care after that. He was like, all I wanted to know was what was going on because he was just kind of just curious. But hey, he straight up didn't give a fuck. Like he was like, nah, fam. But we can time skip. We're gonna time skip to the 8th company or 8th ward. A man in a suit pulled up in there and knocked on the company 8's door. Captain Obi and Vice Captain came and opened the door. They asked him, Tsukayomi Industries has come to kind of sponsor you or rebuild your company. Captain Obi is kind of excited inside, but he doesn't show on his face. And he would ask them, why do they want to do that? The president or the head of the company basically bluntly said that someone here is important to him and he is going to help them out. So basically he's doing it for them. Captain Obi then says, who might this be? And this says the president is Shinra Tsukayomi. Then Obi remembers something. Iris's last name. Because Iris technically took Shinra's last name. So it's Iris Tsukayomi and it's Iris Tsukayomi. No, right? She just changed her name. She asked Shinra if she could use it and Shinra says, I bet. Okay. He doesn't really care about it. So he calls Iris and Iris comes, and when she saw Iris, she says, Lady Iris, she stops him right there. I know who you're talking about. Go on. And he says we come to repair the 8th company. So here's a key. Take all the documents if you want. All the documents, all the stuff that you need, personal stuff, and carry it to this address, and you'll be there for at least 3 to 4 weeks. Captain Obi and the rest are really grateful, and they try to ask Iris who this person is because they think that it's one of Iris's family members. They don't think it's her husband, but hey, I wouldn't blame them either. But this is where I'm gonna end off this video, guys. I'm so happy to see you all. So I'll be doing